You will all agree with me that anytime Raila Amolo Odinga makes a political move, the country comes to a standstill. Ever since Raila Amolo Odinga expressed his appetite or intent to become the African Union Commission chair, there have been a lot of speculations. Now, yesterday was the culmination of all these speculations and anxiety when William Ruto, Yoweri Museveni, and Raila met and they shared photos. It is very crystal clear that the closest allies of Raila Amolo Odinga and those who are close to William Ruto were not aware of what was happening, except a few. Now, you will also corroborate these facts that whenever you sit or if you have a place where you always play politics, people have got different opinions about what is happening. Is there a handshake? Even if it is not given the name handshake, is there a working formula? Have Raila and William Ruto agreed to put their political differences aside and work together for the benefit of our nation? If that is the situation, if we are not careful, some people will collapse. I want you to see what has been happening just less than 24 hours after Raila and Ruto shared their photos. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time. This is the greatest support that we request from you. You can also share our videos. Please don't forget to turn on the notification bell. To all our subscribers, thank you very much in a very special way. Ladies and gentlemen, less than 12 hours, 24 hours after those photos, the Star is coming up with what I feel is an exaggerated headline, but then I will explain why it can also be true. The Star is saying that key Raila allies to land state jobs in Ruto deal. I don't know, but I will come back to this and tell you that it might not be the allies of Raila getting jobs in Ruto administration, but something definitely is coming. Now, today Aisha Jumwa revealed this. I met Raila to brief him on the progress of the 2/3 gender principle agenda because he is one of the leaders whom we trust in Kenya. We are happy because he gave us an opportunity. And this meeting actually took place not in Aisha Jumwa's office, but in Capitol Hill, Raila's choice, Raila's office. And when you look at all this, it tells you that there is a change of heart. Because since when did you see or hear a cabinet secretary going to report to Raila Amolo Odinga? And now for the first time, Aisha is saying that Raila Amolo Odinga is one of the leaders that they trust. Yet in the past, during the demonstration, they said they never trusted Raila. The reason I'm telling you that the movements that have taken place today, in fact, somewhere in Homa Bay, William Ruto was telling the people that I told you no one would be left behind in my administration. But the reason why I'm telling you that there are some people whose temperatures must be taken because they could soon collapse is this. The Deputy President, Gachagua, is one person who was at the front line condemning Raila, and he never hid his frustrations about any possibility of Ruto and Raila working together. I want you to listen to this speech, and you will agree with me that Rigathi Gachagua is a man who is disturbed.
Juzi amekuja pale KICC, nimemkaribisha vizuri. Simuliona? Kwa heshima, kwa sababu yeye ni mzee wetu, amekuja, tumemwalika. Sasa kuliko aende ya kwa kiti yake, anataka kuingia marais pahali wamekaa wale wamechaguliwa. Na hii mtu, kuna mtu amemchagua. Sasa ile nyumba hata Kipchumba huyu na waziri hawezi ingia. Ni marais tupu wamekaa. Marais wamejaa pale. Ati anataka kuingia pale akae na marais. Sasa watu wanauliza, huyu ni rais ya wapi? Finally, former Prime Minister, my brother, hatukatai salamu, hatukatai maongeo. Najua kikwetu, hivi huyu governor atakwambia. Aluga modu anarumone nyamu jiruri. Ona kanyoko ake kare. What we say, somebody who has been bitten by a black snake. Even when you see a black pot, you run away. And it's good I tell you today, because you are here and you have raised the matter. We fear you. The reason, ulikuja unakapata na mtoto wetu Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa mtu mzuri. Alitupenda. Alitufanyia kazi. Mliposhikana na yeye akageuka. Akija kwako alikuwa anacheka. Akija hapa ako na makasiriko. Tukakuwa na wasiwasi. That is the reason, and I must tell you that is why tukisikia mambo ya salamu tunakuwa na uoga. Because you mess us up the way you messed Uhuru Kenyatta. We cannot agree. Niye jana yohoro ama na niye gaugatiriaga kwa mundu. Jana yohoro ama rio hia. Na ugande mwire tondu niwe waria ndeto icio konda anaria ndingia mwira. Arauga ni turetigira miario. Ti miario turetigira niwe turetigira. Ni uria atwikire na Uhuru wa Kenyatta. And we are still crying for our child, Uhuru Kenyatta. We pray for him so that God can heal his heart, because we don't know what happened after the handshake. He was a great man. He was a great leader. He was compassionate. After that handshake, he became brutal. He became dictatorial. He became intolerant. We don't know what happened. Sasa hao watu walituumiza, wakaumiza rais wetu. Ati sasa wanataka kuja kuketi kwa meza. Is he genuine? Is he genuine? Na ndio mimi nimemwambia huyu kijana hapa, Aaron, mimi nampenda sana wakiwa na Ichung'wa. Ni watu wangu. Lakini nimewapigia simu juzi, nimeuliza kama wana kazi ya kufanya. Kazi hapa Kericho imekwisha. Wakuje wafanyie wananchi kazi. This should not waste time. Kwa sababu ni mzuri kuambia mtu ukweli. Sasa walikuwa wanajaribu kuja hapa kwa rais. Juzi nimetoka, nimeenda ngamo, nimeenda Italy. Wanajaribu kupitia huko, nikaitwa nikarudi haraka. Kwa sababu pale unajua kazi yangu pale ni rahisi sana. Mimi kazi yangu ni kuchunga Rais William Ruto, na mimi sina kazi nyingine. That is my work. Nikiona mtu yoyote anaweza tatiza serikali yake, hiyo ni kazi yangu kungangana na hiyo mtu. Na huyu kitendawili historia yake ni mbaya. Ama mnataka nimkubalie? Nimkubalie akaribia rais? Sasa mimi naenda Colombia kutafuta soko ya kahawa. Alafu nipite Cuba. Lakini nimepanga. Hiyo ikulu nimeweka mitego kila kona, kila mahali nimeweka. Na niko na watu wa kunipigia simu. Wakionekana tu karibu naambiwa.
Viewers, apologize. I'm continue.
I want us to look at Rigathi Gachagua's speech and the latest developments, because as they always say, politics is dynamic. But then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm kindly reminding you about Maureen's 100 shillings challenge. Kindly contribute towards, this is on humanitarian grounds. Maureen is suffering after she was tortured and beaten brutally by her boss when she went to work as a domestic worker in Lebanon. Unfortunately, that was a very cruel employer. She was flown back to the country, still feeling very bad, grounded, traumatized, and helpless. She is depending on you. Please give anything that you have towards this cause. She needs to go back to the hospital, and she, together with the child, must also survive during the period that she's grounded. So I'm kindly requesting that you give something towards this cause. Anything that you have will go a long way in helping Maureen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen closely to Rigathi Gachagua, you will agree with me that in some way he had his own fears. And those fears could actually become true. Because in politics, all political analysts will tell you that there are only two constants. There is betrayal and interests. The difference between Raila Odinga and Rigathi Gachagua is this. Raila's experience in politics has made him taste the good and the bitter taste, the sweet and the bitter part of politics. If it is betrayal, no one has been betrayed more than Raila Odinga. For Rigathi Gachagua, he became a member of parliament in Madeira constituency. Then boom, he was the deputy president. He has never tasted anything like betrayal that might come to pass. And I want us to look at the reason why Rigathi is a disturbed man. One is about what I'm talking about here, betrayal. Rigathi Gachagua saw what happened between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru claimed that Ruto was running ahead of his time and he wanted to start the race. He had already started the race before he was handed over the baton, and he openly campaigned for Raila Odinga. Ruto on his part says that he was pushed to the periphery and that it was the BBI that took a center stage. Uhuru was saying that we needed inclusivity because the winner takes it all is something that is the animal that has disturbed our nation. He wanted this inclusivity. William Ruto objected, but today he's back at it. And Rigathi Gachagua saw what happened. He fears that if Raila and Ruto would have a handshake, he might be betrayed. And you know, what these people are forgetting is one. For Kibaki to accept a handshake with Raila, he knew what happened during the elections. The elections were robbed and bungled. For Uhuru Kenyatta to accept that handshake, he knew very well that they had messed up with the election. Go and ask David Maraga, the former Chief Justice, and he will tell you that the elections were never free, verifiable, and fair enough. So they had to accept handshake because they were guilty as charged. And Rigathi Gachagua should not pretend that he does not understand that. For William Ruto to accept a handshake, he knows very well that the elections were bungled. If I'm lying, open the server. So Rigathi knows and understands very well that should there be a handshake, he will be one of the victims. Especially, alikuwa na kierere sana. He was at the forefront. You know, condemning Raila, you don't have to tell Raila that you cannot sit where other presidents are. He knows very well that he has been voted more than thrice in this country, but the powers, ile tunaita kamati ya uchafu, headed by the US, have never given him an opportunity to lead. So number one is betrayal. And if Rigathi is not careful, he will be betrayed. Number two, Rigathi is very easy to betray. Why? Ruto gave Rigathi Gachagua a poisoned chalice and he drank from it. One, Rigathi knows that he was not the choice for William Samoei Ruto in 2022. He was never to become the running mate. Number two, Rigathi Gachagua took his opportunity in the first year after taking oath of office, creating enemies. They never read from the same page with Raila. They never read from the same page with Kalonzo. They never read from the same page with Mudavadi. If you get Raila supporters or Kalonzo supporters or Mudavadi supporters, they would rather vote someone else, but not Rigathi Gachagua. So it is very easy to betray him because he also chaired a meeting when they were banning or they were interfering with Uhuru family. Hakumtetea, and so even his kinsmen will not support him when William Ruto kicks him out. Let me tell you, if Raila gets into a serious handshake with Ruto today, and they sit in a meeting and they say, we want to pass a vote of no confidence against Rigathi Gachagua, Rigathi will be removed in the morning and nothing will happen because if Azimio accepts to work with William Ruto, they will support that bid and Rigathi Gachagua will never play that card ile ya kuanza kushtua ya kwamba ukifanya hivi tutakuacha. And Rigathi Gachagua knows very well what will happen. Number two, if Raila works with William Samoei Ruto, Raila shall have proved that he's very magnanimous. I've sung this over and over again. They have painted Raila, they painted a picture as if Raila is so much power hungry. They used to say that Raila wants people to die for him to ascend to power. Raila shall have proven more than 4 times that he's ready to work with those people who have robbed him of his victory. Moi detained him for 9 years. He worked with him. Kibaki robbed him of his victory. He worked with him. Uhuru robbed him. They worked. William Ruto the same. They are working together. And Rigathi Gachagua knows that they will be devoid of anything to talk about. Those people who are thriving in insulting Raila will all bow down because there will never be anything to talk to malign Raila's name. Rigathi will not go back to Central and say, oh, Ujama. Development will be taken to Nyanza. That's why I said that when the Star says that the Raila's allies who shall be given jobs in the Ruto administration, even if that doesn't happen, because the headline sounds exaggerated, development shall go to Nyanza, because that is what happened during Uhuru regime. Of course, Nyanza people are also taxpayers, but you see, we work under a regime who believes that you can only be given development, or you cannot receive development when you are supporting them and singing praises, because Rigathi has declared that this is a government of shareholders. They believe in kuja tupange. Kama kuna kitu, you lead a delegation to State House and you sing praises. While the new constitution compels the administration to take development to all the regions equitably, and Rigathi will feel very bad. You saw what happened in Kisumu when they were unveiling MV Uhuru. Rigathi was actually, he almost became mad. Remember when William Ruto compelled them to go and sign some bills in Kisumu State Lodge? And that photo leaked out where Rigathi was looking as if he had just landed from the moon. So he knows very well that development will be taken to Nyanza, and he does not like this. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, this will be humiliation. Ukiwa kiherehere ya kusema wewe ukifanya kazi na Raila, sisi tutakuacha, we voted for you, tafadhali. You know how he was talking. Now that will be total humiliation, because after all, they will be working together. Will he die? I know he wishes the ground would open and swallow him, but nothing will happen. Raila is a Kenyan, he's a national leader. If they shake hands and work together for the benefit of peace, that shall be it. Wale ambao hawapendi wanaweza jinyonga, but the scenario is different, and if they are not careful, they are going to develop heart attack. I know there are other arguments that Raila shall have now abandoned the cause to fight for them, talking about corruption. We shall see about that. I don't know what you think, but someone must check the blood pressure of some of these leaders.